Alright, it's Sunday, the 4th of February, 2018. I keep on saying 17 for some reason. This is the 15th time I've recorded this particular intro on that particular subject, but today we're going to be once again salvaging somebody's empire. And we've got a couple of really interesting things ahead of us when it comes to this empire. Overall, it's looking pretty good. This was sent in, by the way, by user Jack. I'm not going to say his last name because of potential privacy issues. Anyway, overall, it looks pretty decent. Sure, it's a little bit late, 2421. We got a mega structure in here. That's Science Nexus. There's another mega structure down here, which is a Dyson sphere. So that's all looking good. We got a lot of energy. We got a lot of minerals, food coming out of our butt, as well as influence. Our fleet looks pretty decent, 101k. It's totally usable. We're playing super tall. We got 4 planets. Oh, by the way, the contingency spawned within our empire. So that's a problem that we're going to need to fix. Now, thankfully, if we go back into our thingy here, it looks like the entire Alliance fleet is here. Happy days. So let's take a look here at what our ships are made up of. Giga cannons, plasma cannons, that's a lot of point defense, and a couple of kinetic artilleries. Alright, so we're going to do a quick look at why the contingency works the way it does. So let's pop over here towards one of these here contingency worlds. There they are, 163,000 on the defense fleet. It looks like that the first wave has already started, and Jack had some problems deflecting them to begin with. 2 planets are missing their spaceport, so you know that's a thing, I guess. Somehow managed to get Prophet's retreat, which is kind of nice. It also means that somebody somewhere ate a fallen empire. It was probably these guys. Yes. That was most likely a right thing to say. I have no idea where their actual worlds went or where their holy worlds went, but that's not important to today's conundrum. Today's conundrum is the following. I don't think this user has Leviathans, which from my perspective is actually incredibly useful, mainly because of the enclaves that it adds to the game, which is basically a 1-to-2 or a 2-to-1 banking system, which is probably the most useful part of that entire thing, unless of course you get enigmatic shields or power generators or something like that from the enigmatic thingy, or of course, you know, dragon armor. But it doesn't look like he actually has it for this particular game. It's also a mixture of different types of FTL, but in order to keep the stuff moving, we're going to take a look at the contingency and see what they actually do. So I've managed to tag into them already. Ignore all of this stuff. This does not apply to us in any way, shape, or form. So here we go. Here's the sterilization hub. Here it is. It's very pretty. And there is this big, I don't even know what the name of the shapes is. If you know what the name of the shape is, put it down below. I'm sure that you will get some internet points, that sort of thing. Anyway, what is important is we need to take a look at these fleets and what they are made up of. Well, contingency fleets are generally made up of 2 types of ships. We've got their battleship warform and their destroyer warform, the euthanizer class and the sterilizer class, which by themselves doesn't seem like the most welcoming of names. Regardless, the euthanizer class warform, which is the battleship, by far the most dangerous thing on the field, very, very much catering to damaging shields en masse. Armor on mass, my apologies. So we got plasma weapons, we got laser weapons, a bit of point defense, and of course particle lance. Now particle lance, plasma, and lasers have one thing in common: they penetrate shields quite well. On the other hand, they do use shields quite a lot themselves, which means if we go down towards the sterilizer class, we'll see that it's basically all shields all the way down. Now they have neutron torpedoes, which means they basically can do a lot of damage to shields, which means that we need to take the sterilizers off the field as fast as we can. They got a little bit of additional firepower, all catered towards armor, but you get the general idea here. We need to set up a fleet that does not use any armor whatsoever and counters shields. That's effectively the idea here. So let's tag back into our empire. Make always sure to turn.
Nothing. This chance.
System PR1. We are boundless horizon.
We build.
I feel like pacifist today. Anyway, so yeah, so we want to build a fleet that counters shields and has shields itself because the enemy counters armor. Shields itself. So, and I counters armor. I'm a numpty. Anyway, we've got quite a lot of stuff that we can use for that. So we got neutron torpedoes on our ship design here, which is quite nice. So we're going to swap this out with a Gauss cannon. Now the great thing about Gauss cannons is they do plus 33% shield damage on the small hull sizes, which is kind of nice. Shield capacitor is always good for shield regen. So take a look at the destroyer design. See, the AI, the Contingency doesn't really use all that much strike craft. They have a little bit for their main station. We can actually quickly tag back into them just to observe them. So if we take a look at the station design, they do have these seeker drones, strike craft. They do quite a lot of damage, but once again, they're quite good. It's average damage 25. That's kind of crazy to say the least. Anyway, we do want to have some point defense there, and yes, as before, we should turn that off. Anyway, back into the ship designer. So we've set the ship design up. We want to keep a little bit of point defense on this. We want to get double flak. And then have, considering their ship size is mostly destroyers, we want to have Gauss cannons coming out of our butt. Let's take all the let's put nothing but hyper shields on there. It's -7. Maybe we can min-max this a little bit. Nah, we can't game the system. Oh, by the way, in Cherry, flak artillery is now going to have 3 levels, which is really exciting, to say the least. This is a little bit unfortunate. We could... If we do it like this, maybe we can squeeze one. No, that's not going to work. That's a shame. I was hoping to squeeze on one more shield, but that's just not going to happen. That's a shame. Can we do... Yeah, we kind of need the tracking because, well, they're destroyer hulls, right? So it's tracking +9, sensor range. Okay, this should work okay. Cruiser design. So, again, heavy plasma... Strikecraft. Strikecraft are great for us as any sort of battleship design. So versus these using isoforms, they should be doing quite well, but we're going to go and do something else with that. Once again, we're going to put Gauss cannons on his house, but the cruisers, we're going to use neutron torpedoes just to counter those shields. And then put more Gauss cannons on this. Autocomplete the design. Strip off the... Okay, we can put... crystal forge plating on there. Okay. So if we put this one on here, not a fan of it. Maybe if I do this, no. That is a bit of a shame. See, half the game is basically trying to figure out how to get enough power out of these things. Once again, in Cherry, this is not really going to be a problem anymore. So... yeah, even then, it's like -2, so that's just not the greatest. Let's just then do it like this. Hull points +10% is kind of nice, because hull points is basically what the game, what matters in the end. Shield generating +50%. Let's just do it like this. I think that'll be a decent decision. Okay, now we get to the X-size weapons. Tachyon Lance ignores 90% of armor. Doesn't do a lot of shield damage. Giga Cannon ignores 50% of armor, does 33% shield damage, but because I'm feeling cheeky, I'll put focus arc emitters on there, because like I said, I'm feeling kind of cheeky today. I'm going to do a mixture here of weapon types. We can put some kinetic cannon on there, plus 33% shield damage is kind of nice. So we'll leave that artillery cannon on there, but the rest we're just going to deck out with more Gauss cannons. We'll give you some crystalline forge plating in the bottom here, just to fleshen you out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I'll do. It's a little bit overpowered for what it needs to be in terms of just energy production, but it'll get the job done. Okay, let's do that. Let's update all of this stuff, because we are going to need this later. We're not actually just going to be talking about this issue with the our good friends, the Contingency. There's a couple other problems as well. We're also going to design a new fortress. And we're going to need it, and I will illustrate you shortly why. So, in order to counter Contingency properly, we're going to need to do, I think, mostly medium slots here. I think that'll just do fine. Let's completely fill this bad boy out with... if we do Phase Disruptor, it will do more damage? No, it will not. So Phase Disruptor is actually a really interesting one, because it does plus 200% shield damage, but the average damage is relatively low. Relatively low. So it's 4.8 for 6.2. So as soon as the shields are down... okay. So we got shield gens here. Let's strip off all the neutronium armor, because we really don't need that. Let's put this one in here and then work our way down. Oh, okay, that's already pretty good. Okay, so here comes the important part. So we want to have... We've got several options here. First of all, we want a Subspace Snare, FTL trap. Basically, it means that whatever happens to the enemy, they will automatically jump within range of the station. And all these medium cannons will try to shred them, which is kind of what we want. However, as a secondary, we've got multiple options here. We can do capacitor shields, which boosts any allied ships. Considering this is in space, the chance of our fleet being there is marginal, and the boost is 20%. It's not the greatest. What is very interesting, however, is the Quantum Destabilizer, which reduces enemy fire rate by 15%. It effectively takes 15% of DPS off the field. The shield dampener is nice as well. Shield hit points minus 25% and reduces shield regeneration. Versus Contingency and Unbidden, actually kind of nice. But considering Contingency has a relatively high firepower, we kind of want to reduce their fire rate as much as possible. So we're going to go and put the Quantum Destabilizer on there. If we were fighting Unbidden, I would go for the shield hit points modifier, but obviously that's not the case, so we're not gonna go and do that. We got all these shield regenerators on here just to keep our shields online for as long as we got. Maybe we can squeeze one more hyper shield on here. Yeah, we could. All right, so we're gonna call this one a very useful name. We're gonna call this one Bait. All right, so that looks good. Now we have a lot of energy. I mean, plus 950 a month, which is kind of staggering. The problem is we can't really trade the energy for minerals anywhere. And therefore, we're going to need to upgrade our fleet like this. Alright, so you're producing 21 food. What's our traditions like? Okay, we need just one more tradition to fill out the tree. Considering where we are in the game. Are we spiritualists? I think we are spiritualists. Yes, we are. We could potentially go concentrated worlds here. It basically adds the edict called Consecrated Worlds. This is only available right now if you've got Utopia. I'm not sure if this is going to be in Cherry or not. We'll see later down the line. However, Consecrated Worlds at this stage in the game is not really worth it. It only increases Unity increase. Yeah, it's like a 10% Unity increase per planet. Plus like a 10% happiness increase, and I think a growth increase. Considering how far we are down the tradition line, the Consecrated Worlds is really not going to add any additional bonuses. So maybe Defender of the Galaxy, but I really doubt it, because we should be able to crush these Contingency quite easily. So we'll take a look at that later once that comes into play. Another problem is we only have 4 planets, a relatively stretched out piece of space. Now, we are already at the end of our tradition tree, so as soon as we've crushed the Contingency, we're going to go on a mass colonization effort to get every single planet within our territory to crank up that naval capacity, because we are going to need it. Also, it looks like we are missing some scienticians. We got 100 of these. Okay, let's edict lists. Let's get some production targets going, but first I want to see what our mineral production is. So Profit Retreats generates all the minerals. Also does not have a spaceport. Let's go and fix that. So let's put a production target on that.
Transmission.
They will give energy credits for StarCraft. Yes, they will ask us for our Anaheim-inspired video games by the company Blizzard. Let's upgrade all of this stuff, actually, because we just put jump drives on all of these bad boys. Alright, how long do we need here? 10. Okay, these guys are currently on cooldown. It should take like 2 years before they will regen. It doesn't. There's no countdown on it right now, I think. Let's go and take a look here. So this is going to take just over a year and a half. Just under a year and a half. What kind of leader we got on here? Adaptable, psychic, which is always nice, and fleet logistician, which is also nice, and he's level 8. Or she, and or whatever the hell that is. Can we do some bioengineering maybe? Just spruce things up a little bit. Ooh, we could. Let's modify this template. No, I couldn't really do all that much. We could remove sedentary and slow breeders, but it doesn't really, it's not gonna add all that much. Energy weapon damage, that's good for the torpedoes, ship hull points, leadership, life, and I don't, whatever. I don't really care. What do you got? Oh, stubborn. Alright, well, you're gonna be assisting research over here, fam squad. Survey speed, not that we need it. And we can also talk to the Shrouds. We were never meant to be here. Ominous. Let's reach into the Shroud. How much row do we got anyway? Nothing. Okay. Okay, so we can channel our energies into an avatar. Increase our influence. Okay, blah blah. Division ends as soon as. Okay, let's see if we can. If the avatar for psychic energy manifests in our universe, will be under our control. Excellent. And we got a avatar on the planet. It's friggin' great. Speaking of planets, we do need to take a look at that. We got a lot of food being produced, and I kind of want to use this adjacency bonus here. We're gonna need to strip all of these Unity buildings off of these planets anyway, as soon as the tree is done. If you're playing with the Apocalypse update, you don't need to do that because Unity ambitions will be a thing. But by the time this video releases, that should not be a thing that you should be worried about. Military Academy, we really don't need it. Minerals on planet is definitely something that we want. Let's just replace all of these military academies. We really don't need them. Yes. We can upgrade all these food tiles and then min-max stuff as we need it. Visitor Center. It does increase habitability. Alien migration attraction. It's in a bad spot. It has an energy modifier on top of it. We're going to build an energy plant on top of here. Paradise Dome. All that stuff is all here, so... Overall, like, Prophet's Retreat is a pretty damn good planet. Plus 5 year leader span. Edict duration. Actually really nice for what we want to do. Okay, so we got the entire Alliance fleet here. By the way, the Alliance, it consists of everything in the purplish color, which is a relatively small group of Xenos, which is kind of unfortunate. But the United Nations of Earth on in there. Ripperoonie in your latest video. I saw that a lot of your countrymen died. Like I said, a rip. And let's go and fix this. Am I replacing this? No, I'm not. But we do have a mineral processing. This positioning could be a little bit better. Let's replace this with a mining network. No, actually cancel this. We will demolish this. We'll put a mining network in there. Demolish that. And then put a mineral processing plant in there. It's a little bit more efficient tiling. We also do not need the site of revitalization plant. It's going to be replaced with minerals. Now I need to check all my planets if there are any site of revitalization plants. This is going to be a science lab. Site of revitalization plants. We're going to replace that with a ye old standard basic lab. Okay, that looks pretty clean. Looks pretty cool. Finally, a playthrough that has proper, what looks like at least, proper positioning of tiles, or at least capital buildings, so that's always nice. There's no bonus on this one, and there is a lot of energy on this planet being produced, so I'm going to go with Science Lab, because why not? Okay, this is okay. Power plants, that's fine. Yeah, if you are playing without Leviathans, and you want to build a lot of Unity buildings without having access to the artisans, going with the Citadel of Faith is actually really good. Plus 24, actually quite nice. It's not a replacement in the end, but still, it is pretty good. I was about to say that you could also get the Dragon Memorial, but that's not particularly helpful, considering you need Leviathans for that, so... yeah, you get the general idea there. You're assisting research, that's good. Yeah, it's really frustrating, and if you're running a non-Leviathans game, you got so many energy credits, you just literally have nothing you can do with them. Like, we have a friggin' Dyson sphere right here. This is generating 1,000 energy. Where on earth did you get the minerals from? Yeah, where on earth did you get the minerals from there, Belgium? You do not exist. Jesus Christ. Okay, joking aside, let's max this out. Again, shift-click to max that out quickly. Do that here as well. It's a fairly significant mineral investment. Now let's take a look at these spaceports. Now this is fine. We're gonna remove the upgrading. Okay, it's just one ship. So considering how much research is being done here, quite a lot. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna actually replace this thing, this orbital hydroponics bay, with a lab. Synchronized defense is not something that we really need. Actually, this is a good question. Okay, so if you want a quick and easy way, to upgrade your fleet power, build fleet academies. So fleet academies are one of my favorite buildings, because what it does is every single ship's built at this planet will have a ship modifier attached to it. That means that it increases in fire rate, chance to hit +3 in tracking. I don't think it's retroactive, which is a bit of a shame, obviously. Then again, if it was, it'd be hilariously overpowered. We don't need to build corvettes here. We do need to do... Let's see, do we have any destroyers in this fleet? Yes. A lot of cruisers. Could try to crank out a couple more battleships before... Yeah, that should be enough. So let's speed up this process and hope the contingency doesn't spawn the next wave. It doesn't look like it. 44%. We need to remove this here rally point. The main fleet becomes the rally point. That's standard stuff there. Okay, our Alliance fleet is still hanging out. That's good. I wouldn't be surprised if our total fleet power actually goes down. It wouldn't be the first time that's happened. Okay, that's looking pretty okay. That's fine. Actually, we can cancel the observatory for now. We need to kind of focus on the war effort. So now we need to go and actually take a look at where can we get minerals from. So let's see if we can make a instant transfer deal. I will give you an instant transfer of, say... Oh, good lord. They are not interested in energy whatsoever. So now we go shopping. This is... Okay, now we're talking. So... 500 minerals for a monthly transfer of 9. It's not really worth it. Oh, good. Okay, they're not interested in an instant transfer. But a monthly transfer is fine, considering the amount of, like, this... For like 30 years, maybe? Sure, can we squeeze out one more? No. Okay, so let's take a look at where the lowest possible point is. So we can hold control. Oh, wow. They don't... 30 years for 8 minerals a month? Oh, there we go. Yeah, 133. Can we go even lower? No. Okay. 133 for instant minerals. Oh god, that's monthly transfer. Oh good lord, I almost hit monthly transfer there. That would have gone really bad. I'm sure a whole bunch of people were just yelling at the screen, were like, are you friggin' blind? Well, sometimes I wonder myself as well. We got a couple of disable alerts, actually. Oh wow, okay. We are gaining quite a lot of happiness. Actually influence, wow. No synth rights. Yeah, they don't like the synths. 5.1. What's our civics? Color politics. Speaking of liberty, which we're going to need to take out anyway. Parliamentary system. Influence for faction plus 50%. Actually really nice. Really nice indeed. Okay, we're getting close to the point where our fleet is upgraded to the point that we can actually use it properly. Maybe we'll go down to 90, maybe we'll go up to 110, who knows. All I know is we're going to lose quite a lot of it once we're fighting Contingency. The big problem with Contingency is not so much their small craft, it's their Euthanizer class ships, which are quite powerful, and you really don't want to be caught by, because they use... good lord, what are they called again? Let's take a quick look here. Okay, so let's put an XL on this. Obsolete design. Yeah, they use particle lances. Particle lances have a pretty good accuracy, actually. And that's basically also why you want to build a couple station in and around places. Shield hit points. It's gonna take too long. Energy we don't need. Energy weapon attack speed is useful. Especially if we want to switch to, say, shield hit points. It's probably better. I don't expect to be fighting Contingency for very, very long. Okay, so this is done. In the meantime, where are you? Waiting for space
Construction
station.
complete.
Okay, so we're going to need to build a trap. And we are going to do it right here. Hello there, bait class. You're not nearly as expensive as I thought you'd be. Interesting. So we're going to build a bait class station. I'm going to build it right there. What we're going to do is we're going to move our capital fleet in orbit of this planet, in range of the bait class. As soon as anything tries to jump in here, and this planet is the closest to the Contingency, in case they build something, we can jump straight in on top of them and engage them. It's going to take them some time to take down the station, hopefully. 16.3 thousand on this fortress. I'm kind of hoping for a similar thing there. We've got ourselves an election. Monthly unity, we don't need it. Science, happiness. Happiness, building costs. Let's just do this. I think that's fine. Get a little bit of additional happiness out of that is always good. So,
An alien empire is reaching out to us.
Okay, the Jonas interface has declared war on the Evadarni Combine. Where are you guys? Okay. Okay, well, that's pretty far away. Also like to point out that these guys are at war with their creators. Because they are, they're basically a robot uprising. Exactly. He says. Okay, the Jonas interface is actually the robotic uprising in this empire. That is actually kind of cute. They get a decent amount of fleets out of that. That's pretty cool. A lot of transport fleets as well. Okay. We should have probably invited them to our empire, or at least given association status. They want a research agreement. I am good, thank you. Okay, re-election. That's all. I thought I already supported this guy, but whatever. We were getting so much influence
Ships
anyway.
Upgraded.
All right, so we lost 8,000 fleet power. That's to be expected, but in honesty, a lot of the time, fleet power doesn't really mean all that much. Thankfully, Contingency hasn't spawned its next wave. So we are going to casually park our fleets together with our allies right around the corner. And the thing is, the way Contingency works, they will just attack us as we enter the system. Now this may not look like enough to take down this Contingency fleet. Mind, this is 160,000. And we have, say, it's probably something similar here. Yeah, we got about 160k. I totally expect to win this quite handily. Come on, jump. Okay, there's the jump animation. Perfect. And we're out. Cool, so
complete.
we're just gonna casually sit here while their Euthanizer fleet moves away from this here Death Star. And wait for our allies to jump in. Just like that. Okay, so I want them to engage. Come on. Okay. Because I don't actually...
Engaging hostile fleet.
I'm actually not... Okay, so here we go. So, apparently Jack was having some problems here. And I think it had mainly to do with the build of his ships. Oh, good lord. These tiny guys, they just got murdered. To be expected, to be honest. These tiny guys, we kind of want to take them out. The euthanizers are the really big problem here. Now, if we look at this, it will tell us that we are at a little bit of a disadvantage. I beg to disagree. See, for every single euthanizer we take off the fields. Okay, so we got some missiles in there. We're currently at 76. If we go down to 60, I still think that we'll be in a good place. Got all battleships back there. Maybe we'll get lucky with a couple of bursts. There's our alliance fleets jumping right in, gung-ho. Okay, their shields are now down. That means that they have no armor, by the way, which means that we will start picking them apart, which is exactly what we are doing.
Construction complete.
So their shields are down. The tactics seem to have worked. Down to 55. There we go. Very rapidly annihilating their fleets. What can we get out of this? Sapient combat computer. Oh my. I will get one of those. There is no way of reaching this project. It's because you're set to passive. Okay, so you're down to 90%. How much did we lose here? 23 cruisers, 8 battleships, surprisingly. I kind of hoped that we wouldn't lose any battleships there. Note that versus Contingency, destroyers and corvettes have an easy time because of their high evasion. So they shouldn't be losing all that much. I think we should have enough firepower here to take down this here planets. Ooh, a machine world has been destroyed. Sterilization Hub 003 has been annihilated. It's on the other side of the galaxy, so... that is
Ships upgraded.
a good thing. And the thing about the sterilization hub, like I said, it does have quite a lot of these attack craft. Thankfully, our destroyers managed to survive a big chunk of that there fights. We don't really have any assembly yards. That is unfortunate. We also don't really have the minerals that do anything practical. But yeah, their attack craft, I think they are... yeah, that you see those little... yeah, exactly. Those are attack craft being annihilated right there and then. So this is their space station. That's going to be gone. And then the rest, all those drop squads. Well, they're not really a problem, to be honest. So Sterilization Hubs 01 is going to be next. The main problem is, the real question right now is, you think... but ASpec, you don't nearly have enough firepower to take out the next sterilization hub. And yes, you would agree with that. However, there's something you need to keep in mind. We are not the only fleet within the galaxy. Now, you should never assume that the AI is competent enough to do anything. Oh, look, it is the AI jumping in to save the day, which they are not going to do, by the way. Taken down their station, and now it is time.
Transmission.
What do you want? Minerals. Absolutely. Minerals is something we want. And quite a lot of. Thank you. Yeah, that's a lot of battleships that we do not need yet. I miss the days that the fleet yards actually reduced the cost of ships. Back in the days, they made fleets or ships cheaper, which was great. Okay, so we should be getting sapient combat computers out of this. Yes. Excellent. This planet does not have anything assisting it, so we're going to go and fix that. And let's take at the same time, let's take a look at this trap station that we had set up. It doesn't do all that much just yet.
Technology researched.
Hull points plus 5%, always good. And hello there, living metal. We will definitely research that. Living metal is great because of its properties. 2% hull regen, definitely not something you want to underestimate.
Complete.
Hull is everything. Shields and armor are only there to defend the hull. That's the whole point behind them. We're going to just bomb this planet into oblivion. Let's hope that the AI is doing something useful with their lives. Doesn't look like it just yet, which means that we're going to need to build yet another bait station. So we're going to do it all the way over here. Did you actually finish up building this one? Yes. 11K. Huh. Probably... What's the kind of makeup is this? Okay.
Station threatened.
What? Station threatened. Ah, okay.
Technology
So our
researched.
problem is currently being fixed by these fine gentlemen over here. That is
Mining station
an
lost.
awakened empire. The regulators mound up. We are going to lose this here outpost, but I'm not really concerned by that. What we do want is more core systems. Because,
Frontier outpost lost.
Ah, yes, this bug. Yeah, this is a curious one. That is, oh god, they brought a Titan on the field. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work out for you boys. All I know is that Contingency is not nearly the threat that you think it is if you know how to approach it properly. Like, Sterilization Hub 01 is about to be destroyed. The entire galaxy is basically pounding on this. Now, I can totally understand that with the fleet that was originally given to me in this scenario was not properly set up. Finally, a Starcraft come in. They should annihilate those shields. Yeah, there you go. Oh, look at that. It's like the Swarm from the Matrix sequels. Those movies were never made, by the way. Their script looked really nice, but it's a shame that they were never greenlit. They would only disappoint, is what I'm saying. And that is total overkill using a Titan laser on a single transport ship. Okay, so Sterilization Hub 01 is about to go down. We should get access to this territory. And while we are at it, how long until 14 months? Okay, so we have 14 months till our final Unity modifier. And once that is done, we're going to strip every single planet of Unity buildings. Every single last one of them. And then it's time for... Well, let's put it this way. It's going to be time for the Great Crusade, so to speak. Hello there. I'll build you up. And we're going to go and help these guys out over here. There we go. Let's move you into orbit. Am I still being followed by the rest of the fleets? For some reason, I haven't quite figured out why. And I have played this game for over 2 years. But they keep on changing the mechanics behind it. So I'm not entirely sure what is up. But they keep on changing the way and why fleets move with each other. I'm not entirely sure why that is, because if I send this fleet now back to my territory, or at least back to my station, they will split up and go their own way. But they are clearly following my fleet, and that's because of this little button right here, which is the take point button, which basically means they will follow ships at all time. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure why. Also, do note that the... Ooh, hello. Greetings, Ether. We are freedom fighters, former slaves. Okay. Etherian Way. They are Federation building. We have seceded. Okay. Sure. Where is this? Like, we could always use a new planet. Don't get me wrong. Where is this? It's an Alpine world. Is this? Is this it? No, that's not it. Where is it? Is it this one? No. How about this one? Oh, it's a continental world, of course. It's pretty far away.
Construction complete.
And that's all of a sudden you managed to add a planet for no reason whatsoever. It looks alright. Adjacency bonuses seem to be set up okay-ish. Actually, this is my own planet I was just talking about. I need the continental world. Oh dear lord. Okay. Let's build a paradise dome there. I'm not entirely sure what on earth they were thinking. Always demolish, by the way. It's so much quicker than messing around with replace, because it just takes time. Let's just put an energy building on that. And this can be... Is there any food, any additional mining buildings that we need to put up here? No, I don't need another Not making use of this adjacency bonus would be a crime. It would be a crime, wouldn't it? Ah, screw it. I was gonna rebuild this planet as a mining site. Why am I saying that? Because they already have a mineral processing plant, and not having a mineral processing plant with only one mine is just. It just no. It's just so wrong in so many ways. Okay, so let's fix all of this stuff. Yeah, we just got a planet for free for no reason whatsoever. This is a social. All right, that's cool. And the Kerbal system. So I'm guessing this is Kerbal. Oh, Kerbin. And then this is Jewel. And then this must be Duna.
Relaying transmission.
Oh, this is... I don't even know. Anyway, you want star charts, and we'll give you minerals for it. Oh,
Construction complete.
That's a joyous idea. Joyous. Let's build some more battleships with those minerals. I don't really care where... We're gonna need to... Okay, at some point we're really going to need to have a serious talk about layout of orbital stations. I know the Cherry is coming up, so it doesn't really matter that much longer. But please, until the 22nd of February, hear me out, please. I know it's only 18 days away and everything is going to change. Unless, of course, you're one of those people that is super salty and doesn't want to change their game. Fair enough.
Complete.
Ooh, Saya Desert World. Ooh, and oh, hold on. Does that have a belt? Ooh, it does have a mine asteroid belt. Ooh, what a delight. That's a juicy one. No, I'm not gonna colonize yet. No. Don't do it, ASpec. Don't do it. Wait until the Unity tree is done. 17 months. It's already increased because of this friggin' alien empire that has joined us. My God, that's looks like a galactic potluck. Did you bring the apple sauce? No, I thought you did it. That guy in the big ship did it. Alright, cool. No, I just bought some turkey. For those of you that don't know what a potluck is, it's basically when the entire neighborhood or family of friends or whatever comes together with like random food items they'd bring to a party. And, you know, usually there's a little bit of coordination there. I've never had a lot of luck with that. But yeah, it's like somebody brings this, somebody brings that. And I hope that you've learned something with that now. So, exciting, I know. Oh my God, that is so much energy that I really cannot dump anywhere. Like, I could increase my fleet power, sure, but with what? Ooh, orbital researcher mandate. That's
Construction
nice.
Complete.
Alright. Like, we could... Just, why do we don't need more Corvettes, guys. Seriously. Cruisers, battleships. We don't need this food. Crew quarters is, by the way, also incredibly good because it reduces ship upkeep whilst in orbit by 10%. You want that. Observatory, please. A victory for the entire galaxy. Plus, we should be getting some delicious stuff out of this. I also feel we need to put a frontier outpost in there. The 30 gas, again, when it comes to these sort of materials, if you have 2 of them and somebody wants to trade you for it, just do it. It's totally worth it. You're not going to do anything with all the other stuff. So let's send the fleet back home. I think the rest of the Alliance fleet has basically pissed off now. And they have. Good. They're all just GTFOing. Excellent. And that's how you fight off a contingency within the confines of your empire, especially with the tools you have available. Just because this is Salvage Sunday doesn't always mean that you don't necessarily have the tools already to do the thing that you want to do. Sometimes the solution is staring you in the face, but you need those glasses, those knowledge glasses, in order to properly assess the situation and then, you know, come to a decisive victory. And in this particular case, I will shine a light on the golden door of knowledge. That is my channel. Is that a little bit much? I do feel it's a little bit much. It's Sometimes I go overboard a little bit there. I like how so far I haven't had to actually fast forward any segments because the entire situation has been, I feel, fairly illustrative. As in, all Corinth Popple latent psionic.
Construction complete.
I feel that we've learned quite a lot today already, and whatever. When it comes to like the game in general and fighting contingency and learning stuff, but the next stage is for you, my friends. As soon as we have managed to do all that Unity stuff, which is in 8 months, because then the final choices of this episode will have to be made. What are we gonna do with our empire? Because this empire is not gonna win a game. But it can. It totally can. And there is definitely certain ways of doing it. Like, for instance, we can assess our surroundings. There's this machine network over here. It has Federation Association status and no friends.
Technology research.
Are we pacifists? No, we're xenophile, though. But we probably can only do defensive wars. Yeah, liberation wars only. So what we could technically do here in order to expand our power is to invade this empire and then expand our territory a little bit, which is something that we need anyway. Or these guys, they're a member of an alliance, so they're not really all that interesting. But the thing is, as soon as contingency is gone, everybody will suddenly realize they don't have a common enemy to hate anymore. And they will start hating on their old rivals. Energy credits. I am not interested. The Jonas core. A Jonas interface. They have an association status, but nobody likes them.
Complete.
Which makes this the perfect space to expand into. This is exactly what we would want. But first, like, you can do several things here, right? You can expand by taking this space, which we totally can. We have the resources for it. Or this space. Do these guys have close borders to us? No, they don't have a close border to anybody, even though they don't really like us because of border friction. But if we would take over all of this stuff, they would definitely not like us. These guys are an alliance. Actually, we have a button for this. Let's press this button. So, notice how the Tronzu do not change their color. Oh, they are a satellite underneath the regulators. Mount up. Alright, fleet levies. So now we get to this very important question. So we could go Consecrated Worlds. Consecrated Worlds is by itself is actually quite good. I wish they would actually list what it does in the Ascension perk list. Basically what it does is it increases happiness, increases unity production, and it increases ethics attraction, I think, on a planet over a period of like 100 years, which I guess is nice. Defender of the Galaxy, don't need it. Imperial Prerogative, +5 core systems, could be interesting. Shared Destiny, which we do not need. How many fallen empires are there? Let's have a look-see, shall we? So, we can go over here, and we select Other. 3, no, I see 1 fallen empire. I see 3 fallen empires, one of which has most likely fallen. 2 have awoken, and 1 of them is still sleeping. So you have potentially a... yeah, sure. So you have potentially a galactic war pending, a war in heaven, so to speak. So in this particular case, considering what we have available, considering the amount of technology that we can research very quickly, especially with core sector stuff, I would go with Galactic Contender. It's pretty useful in this case. Let's even talk to the Shroud as well. 1500 minerals. Ooh, increased evasion. That's very nice. 30% evasion on our ships. Basically, that makes cruisers Okay, interesting. That basically means that cruisers will have the size of destroyers in terms of evasion, and battleships, cruisers, etc. Do not underestimate the power of the Shroud. It is incredibly useful to have. Do we have any liquid metal, living metal? Yes, we do. It's 2 out of 2. And now, considering we're now at this stage, I believe there was a delicious... Yes, there was. So we could... Ooh. Let's colonize this. Use this. And adjacency bonus wise, like we wouldn't want to build as many minerals as we can. We got a lot of science on here as well. Food wise, we're in a decent place. And we got a good mineral output here too. The adjacency bonuses aren't the greatest, but we'll just do it like this. And I guess we'll just give it a cool name. Perfect. And then once the colony ship is down, we'll start the process of terraforming as well. Planets and sectors. Let's take a look at our planets, because we need to start getting rid of all of our Unity buildings. Once again, if you were playing with Apocalypse, this is no longer a thing. So Citadel of Faith. We're going to replace that with maybe a mineral building. I feel like a mineral building today. Okay, that's done. And it feels kind of weird. Actually, what does the building actually do? Planet modifier, spiritualist, monthly unity, spiritualist, ethic attraction. I don't really care. And this is unrest -10 on an empire level, which is fine. We can work with that. Let's max all this stuff all out. Unity output, again, it's just not worth it anymore. Like, it was worth it, but not anymore. Also notice that Jack really likes the Joy that's the planetary shield generator. We don't need those anymore. Our ships will do that for us. Well, this is an energy generation world, right? So we got 3 mines, so a mineral processing planet should be efficient enough. Let's max all of this stuff out. That looks pretty good. We still got this bad boy over here. Okay, am I seeing... Yeah. Okay, that should be pretty good for now. And at this stage, like, well, 80, back to 80k firepower. Okay, so let's set this to unrestricted. Let's set this to a large capacity, because we're not really particularly keen in population growth. And for the rest, we can be pretty positive. Wow! Improved energy initiative. I don't even know where the hell that one comes from. Master's teaching warring stage, which is quite nice. Philosophical mindset, droning optimizations is pretty much a always go to. Map the stars is very useful if you're still in the stage of finding out stuff. We cannot declare war. We must end our Federation association status before we can declare war on them. Okay, that's... And we can't revoke it. That's the problem with Federations. You are equivalent. I definitely know that you are not. We can definitely declare war on these guys if our allies agree, which I really doubt they will. And this is once again an issue with Federations. If they don't want you to go to war, you ain't going to war. So at this stage, it's probably better just to fleshing out all your infrastructure, build up all your stuff, and take it from there. But overall, it's like pretty strong. Like this build overall, it works. It's very tall. It doesn't cover a lot of systems. There's also not a lot of there's a heart of contingency.
Situation log updated.
That's the final nut to crack. which you're not going to be doing anytime soon anyway. But the thing is that, yeah, this is going to be a difficult one in the long term. Because you have a potential war in heaven brooding once contingency is done. I think we can consider this empire as salvaged. It's 2427. It's fairly late. But I think that we can... I think we have enough planets here to do some interesting stuff with. Yes, definitely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the save game down below once again, and I suggest you have a play around with it. I hope that you enjoyed today's session and that you learned something about contingency and how to counter them properly. Sorry about that. But yeah, if you just enjoyed this, feel free to smash that like button and or subscribe. The usual stuff. We'll be back next Sunday with more play-by-play, and I think this is probably one of the longer talking sessions that I've done on the channel. So an exciting time. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to also list your save games below. I just realized something. Hold on, I need to do one more thing before I go. We don't need this anymore, because we no longer need a Unity. Mining guilds. Perfect. Anyway, we're going to go wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take good care of yourselves, and, as always, each other.